Hi everybody, spring here. It's now the fourth day, ending the fourth day after surgery. I just wanted to just give you an overview of what it was like for me. Everybody is different, but just to share what it was like for me going into surgery. On the night before, there's some things that you have to follow, certain things you can and you cannot eat, times of the evening that you have to stop eating. There's these specific antibacterial wipes that you have to use in a certain way to wipe down your body to kill off all of the bacteria so that you don't get an infection um, when they enter you. And also, when you get to the hospital, you have to do that all over again. There's different consent forms that need to be signed. Your family or one or two family members are allowed to sit back there with you until it's your time to go back. You get an IV. They give you the medicine that pretty much knocks you out before you even enter the surgical room, which was perfect because I didn't even want to see what that sterile room would look like. I felt like I was only out for 5 minutes. So I feel like the people that felt the brunt of it were family and friends and, those people who knew that I was back in that room being operated on. When I came out, I had to go to the bathroom immediately. I had to just pee, and they gave me a pan, and that's what I went in because I could not move any part of my body. They just pushed the bed, got me into my room, and over time, and when I say over time, I mean over like an hour or so, I had to start moving so I didn't get stiff and get stiff shoulders. So I had to get out of the bed. I was so thankful at that time just for just fitness, just my lifestyle of fitness leading up to that point within the last few months and even within the last few years because I had lower body strength to be able to get myself out of the bed. My upper body, my arms, it was like impossible to move them. I couldn't even reach over and pull a sheet of toilet paper off the ring. So at that point, you feel just completely exposed, needing someone to help wipe you, needing someone to help pull your pants up and down and turn the water off, grab paper towels, anything you can think of. The pain medication that you're given, if you're not used to it, if your body's not used to it, that's a whole nother journey in itself. You don't know how it's going to make you feel. One of the medications in particular for me caused my blood pressure to drop. Um, just all of a sudden, nurses had to come in and I had to be hooked back up to an IV and they had to get me back squared away. But also during that time, they noticed that I had a hematoma and on the left side that was removed. So on the left side, it was like 3 times the size as the right side. So at that point, I was told I couldn't eat or drink anything, and that was around 8:30 p.m. And the following day, around 5 p.m., I had to go back into the surgical room so that they can remove the hematomas. And they also found a vessel that was bleeding, so they had to repair that as well. Before that even happened, though, they wrapped an ace bandage around me, and it was the tightest ace bandage that you can imagine, tighter than any corset that you ladies would have ever put on before. So that was very, very uncomfortable, especially considering that I had wounds underneath of it. But in my mind, I just kept saying, these things are not going to last forever. And these things have come so that I could be healed. This is all a part of that healing process. I had friends come visit me. That social part is so important for you mentally to be able to get through it because it's not easy. It's not easy knowing that your body is going to be changed forever. Each one of your phone calls and messages, all of those things help me as well to be encouraged along the way. So I thank you for that. Car ride home. Let's talk about that. That every single bump along the way in the car ride home you feel it. So I was constantly bracing myself, but each time you brace yourself, you feel that as well. And keeping in mind, you're very limited in terms of your range of motion with your arms. So fast forward, I finally get home. While I was in the hospital, they gave me some exercises to do. So I had to make sure I can go up steps. I only have a couple of steps because my house is a rancher, which is a positive. So I didn't have that to really worry about. I slept on the recliner in the living room. I'm still sleeping there now. The pain medication, you have to be on top of it. I can't let that pain medication wear off. At one point I did, and it was like I could have done the commercial of I've fallen and I can't get up, except I was just in a recliner and I couldn't get up. My husband had to run out and do something with the boys. It's life. And I was just stuck there, and I had to like use every bit of strength on the inside of me to use my foot to flick my phone up and hopefully catch it in my hand so that I can call him and tell him that I really needed his help because my pain medication wore off. So, that happened. I learned my lesson. A nurse came and she just helped me by creating a plan for all of my pain medication so that that wouldn't happen again. Each day began to get better and better. It's interesting because I went from exercising with barbells and TRX straps and weights, kettlebells, to doing simple finger wall climbs. That's my exercise. I still can't raise my hands over my head, but I'm thankful that I can put my hands to my mouth. I can put my hands to my shoulder. I can feed myself now because I wasn't able to do that before. I'm thankful that I can now pull my pants up and down. One of the things that's really difficult, my husband has to help me out with, and doesn't look too good. If your stomach gets queasy, you might want to look away because I want to show you. I have these drains right here. Those tubes that you see right there, I have 2 on each side, and the fluid that's in my body gets drained out so that I don't get infected. And once the fluid starts to change from its reddish color, it eventually goes yellow and it's less and less in volume, so that eventually the doctor can pull them out. So they're actually in my skin. And at the other end, I have this cute little bag. Thanks, Kim, for giving me my little polka dot little baggie. They look like little Huggies bottles, and they fill up. So my husband drains them, and he empties them out and measures the amount. So that's where we are right now. So each day gets better and better. I have to wait for about 10 days for the pathology of the tumors that were removed to come back. And at that time, I'll learn whether or not the cancer cells were still alive in the tumor, if they were all dead. But the plan moving forward is to have radiation. We'll see how long that will last. I did also have to have 10 lymph nodes removed from underneath of my arm. So that has to heal. So I have a lot of healing to do. So I know healing is not just happening right now for me on the outside, it's also happening on the inside. And again, as I always say, I'm continuing to learn so much more about myself, and I'm thankful for it. As crazy as it may sound, I know that this was all a part of my life's journey to make me a better person, and I'm thankful for it. All right, love you guys, and I'll be back. Bye.